from Little Vintage Cottage. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I thought it would be fun to do another tour of my craft room because I have moved it around again. This will be the third time that I've moved it around. It's what I do. So let's just take a little tour. Let me show you the doorway into my glorious craft room. The door is still one of the things I need to finish. I didn't paint any of the doors in the house when we first started this because I wasn't sure what I was doing. Well, this rearrange started because of this rug. So I found this rug at Goodwill. It was brand new from Target. So I don't know about your area, but our Target stores donate their stuff that won't sell, or sometimes it's marked salvage, to Goodwill. Anyway, this was my most recent find. And so that's what started this whole rearrange, because as you can see, my craft room is very packed. And so in order to get my old rug out and get this new one in, I had to move a bunch of stuff, with which then, you know, the ripple effect started this makeover of my room. So I'll move into the center and just kind of spin, and then I'll go through everything. Okay, so now back up to the doorway. On the right, when you first walk in my room, if you watched my other videos, you already know a lot of this stuff. But so we took the closet rod out and I put shelves in and put these curtains up. And it's packed with things. And I put my dollhouse here. I finally found a place for my dollhouse. It's been on the floor for a long time, so now I just need to put stuff back in it and finish it. I've got some not so pretty containers for things there on the floor, and then I also like to use vintage hat boxes and little vintage suitcases. This is a sewing machine drawers for my supplies, baskets and things. So that's this, and I can close the curtains and kind of disguise it a little. And so up above there is my sign that says "My Happy Place," which is totally true. I love coming up to this room. I come up here almost every night and work on things. This is a little basket that I made this arrangement in. This is my little mascot. She is an old floral shop display piece that I got at an antique store probably like 25 years ago now. This old, I think it's a doctor's box. I got it at a yard sale once, and it holds little supplies, but the front of the boxes all say, you know, nail files, tweezers, cuticle cutters. So, and they open, I've got it on a stool right now, so it doesn't, it's got a mirror on the sides. The drawers will open both directions if I had it sitting on something where it could do that. I have my Cricut here. These bins hold fabric. This holds paper ephemera. This one holds silk flowers. And I actually left a space here because this is where I package up my Etsy orders. This is my favorite poster. When you are at peace with yourself, any place is home. This is my beautiful daughter. That was a long time ago. She was about 21 in that picture. Here's an old clock that I upcycled. I got this shelf at Goodwill. I had originally planned on using it in our kitchen, but you can see I didn't, and so it just holds little knick-knack things and supplies. This is my crewel embroidery wall. Those ones are my favorite. I just recently got this Boston Fern one at Goodwill. I already had the prayer plant. This one I actually bought to sell, but then I realized it had a stain, so I decided to keep it. I don't think you can see the stain, but it's there. This is my printer and my shipping scale, and then shipping supplies in there. That is my new X tool, laser engraver and cutter. This basket has parts for the X tool and photography equipment. There's a see-through hat box. It has vintage millinery flowers in it. This hat box has bumpy chenille stems in it. This dresser has shipping supplies like envelopes and bubble wrap and things like that. I made these, all three of these little bears. And here's some more of my vintage crewel collection. There's my DIY bulletin board. And so then if I back up a little bit, I moved my workbench over here. So the first video, the workbench was here, and I would stand behind it looking towards the window. The next time I moved it, the workbench was over here, and I would stand behind it, and the window would be on the side. And so now I've moved it in front of the window, and so I will stand back here. So I have some ugly storage things down here, so you can't see them. Have some old hooks hanging here for measuring tapes and phone charger. Found this old store display rack at the thrift store for $5. This countertop was actually something I picked up years ago at a garage sale for $5. It's huge and it's industrial. It's got a metal base and like an old Formica top, and my dad built this base for me. This is my $6 thrift store chair that I recovered with old bark cloth. I will put links to the projects that I can underneath this video. This is an old steamer trunk that I use for supplies like my glue gun, and a little hair dryer, and paint palette and things are in there. This one has yarn. I have this old cardboard drawers. I don't know what it was for, but it's got supplies in it. This is my knockoff anthropology lamp, one of them that I did a while back. These are just some old journals that I've done, or this is a Valentine scrapbook. Got a little mushroom collection going here. This is my thrifted clock, and I have a pink tumbleweed hanging in my window. Some little knick-knack things in the windowsill. And I will come in here a little bit later when the sun starts coming through this window and hits this disco ball, because it is so cool in here when that happens. And you can see it's spring now, and this tree outside my window is starting to bud out, which is really pretty. Then let me back up over here. This old shelf I got at, I think off of Craigslist years ago, and it was from a bookstore. It's very skinny, and so I use it for the more pretty storage boxes and things. And then I've got one of these skinny shelves next to it, and then two stacking white shelves with my TV on top, and I've got one of those little rolling IKEA carts for things that I use a lot. This sitting on the floor is one of my next projects, so it's out and in the way so that I don't forget what I'm doing. Because as you can see, I have lots of supplies in here, so I often forget what I want to work on, so I try and set them out so I know what's next. This is an old corner shelf that I've had for years. This up here is my sewing machine from when I was little. It's on display. I have this old Quick Oats container with flowers, dried and silk flowers that I use. I think the last video, these two bins were ugly brown, and I said in that video, hey, I should upgrade those to something prettier, and so I found these at the thrift store, and so that looks a little bit better. I have an obsession with plastic flowers, and so this is my supply of old school plastic flowers. This one has doilies and things like that. This is my collection of tomato pin cushions. I have a little collection of thimbles. These are my grandma's pin cushions. These are some of the 12 months of Christmas projects that we've been doing. And I've got a wire locker basket with crepe paper and a couple more with vintage velvet ribbon. And this one has these old straw trivets. That is a old typewriter. I have this metal cabinet door here, and I use magnets and just put little pictures or inspiration on there. Here is a collection of, well, these bottom three are sewing boxes. This one was my grandma's, and this was my most recent one, and I've had this one for a little while, but I think they're cool, and I like the way they look stacked up. And then there's a vintage suitcase on top, and this vintage box, which just has random stamps and supplies in it. This old suitcase I picked up at a yard sale, and it was missing the handle, so I just added a little ribbon handle. It holds old greeting cards. I have this bathroom storage thing hanging here. And I put a curtain rod up here and hung these to kind of hide what's under there. I used Mod Podge and put some old book pages on the edge of my desk to just kind of dress it up a little. Let's see what else. It's packed, and when I was in here, I tried to pick some things to get rid of, but it was hard. I did find some things to purge out of here. I don't want it to be too overwhelming. For some, it might already be that way. I think it's inspiring. I like it. I have my bench, like I said, in front of the window now, so I'm not sure how that'll work when I want to film projects here at the bench with the window being behind me. But then I realized, oh, well, I can stand on this side, and then the window would be facing me to give me some good lighting. So Either way will work. I'm standing at my desk on the opposite side with the window right there. So that gives good light. Let's see what it looks like the other way. There's with the window behind me. I don't know, that's not too bad. I just have an old Lazy Susan here with some things on it. This is a little Lazy Susan office organizer. This is an old bathroom cabinet. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is, like I said, the third time I've shared my room, but it seems to be one of the more popular posts that you guys enjoy, so I'll just keep sharing every time I rearrange, unless you tell me not to. Thanks for watching.